everybody. I am Bert Eyler. This is PODC TV, the Hill Report, with my co-host Jim Fotis. Jim, how are you doing today?
Doing well, Bert. And today, Bert is in Minnesota.
Yes, I am.
6 a.m. flight to Minnesota to be with his three brothers for Father's Day. And I'm very, it touches my heart.
So we decided to come up here and play some golf on Sunday. So that's why my background is a little bit different, because it's at my brother's house. So, that's pretty much what we're doing. But I was able to get up on the hill this week, Jim.
You were, and I understand that you were very successful, Bert. You spent a lot of time at the house, and yesterday, 4 successful meetings at the Senate, and then you made a bunch of hits after that.
Yeah, so on Tuesday I had 6 meetings on the House side. Well, I was supposed to have 7, but unbeknownst to me and the office I was going to see, which was Representative Perry's office, they had a evacuation drill. Well, I should follow it up. It was an evacuation drill. So I guess they do those maybe once a year, but they don't tell anybody. So they lock down everybody in the Rayburn building and have them evacuate. So I was in the Longworth going to Rayburn and got stopped by Capitol Police. And they were like, nope. I said, what's going on? We're just doing a drill. It's going to be about 45 minutes. So I had to make contact with my contact, say, we got to reschedule. Luckily, we're rescheduled for next week. So that was the excitement for my day up there. But again, all the meetings were good. We're hitting both sides, Democrat and Republican. We're getting good feedback from everybody. And it's just, it's a slow process. The biggest thing is learning how we can get these bills through committee. And I'm learning, you have to go to the committee members and try and hit the committee chairs and just keep being persistent. Like, we have the votes in the 2 I'm going to talk about. One of them, we have bipartisan support. It's like, I don't understand it. Everybody else doesn't understand it. Why it can't go through committee if you have bipartisan? Because my thing is, the way these bills are working, the way I'm learning is, they go through committee. But if you have bipartisan support, it's going to be faster, because everybody, when they go to the committee, they want them to pass. So if they know they're going to pass, the chair knows and leadership knows, hey, these are going to pass. We're going to have some, questions, maybe some bantering back and forth, but it's going to be unanimous. They're going to pass. Then they get marked up. But some of the bills that are, a little iffy, that's what we're trying to do, is get more support so we can get those bills up. But one of these bills is definitely bipartisan on the House side. There should be no reason why we can't get it through. So everything's looking really, really good.
Yeah, and hopefully before the midterm elections, we can get several more positive law enforcement legislation passed. I know in the past we've talked about qualified immunity, and now you've got a couple of other very important pieces of legislation you'd like to talk about today.
Yes, one of the bills is H.R. 3327, the Public Safety Retiree Healthcare Protection Act of 2025. What that is allowing, right now, retirees in law enforcement can use $3,000 of their pension pre-tax for healthcare. What this bill is doing is bumping it up to $6,000. And I think that is very, very important to get passed. And I hope everybody who's watching this will reach out to the representative and senator to get this bill passed. Because I use myself as an example. When I retired in 2020, if it wasn't for my wife's federal pension as far as medical, my health care for my family plan would have went from $670 to $1,900 a month. That's half my pension. So this is why I'm like, this is a bill that should be this should be partisan bill. This should go through. And it's just getting it back out there because it was just reintroduced. I think that is a really good bill. Why wouldn't it? I mean, even like with you, Jim, just think what it could do for you for retirement.
Exactly. It would be a very big help to many police officers who retired, especially those who retired several years ago and are getting smaller pensions. But we've got to remember, even today, there are some departments that are not paying full salaries. They're paying hourly rate wages yet. And on retirement, the retirements are very, very small, and a lot of officers have to live on those retirements. But I also have to say that I never met a cop that didn't have a side job. So a lot of them
That
are
is
still
true.
working. Yeah,
Well, a lot of them have to work. They have
yeah,
to
they
work.
have no choice. They have no choice, and because on these small departments, and as we've spoke about before, people look at the big departments. They look at New York City, LA. These are large, gigantic departments, Dallas, Houston, but the average police department in the United States is less than 20 members. And those people don't get paid a lot of money. They do the job because it's their heartfelt duty to go out and help people.
Yeah.
And we know that because we've had many police officers that did the job the way they were supposed to and then turned around and charged with a crime. And we're fighting to get them either out of jail or get them to trial and have these charges turned over.
Yeah. You're right. And hopefully, us getting up on the Hill and pushing this legislation, it will get passed. I am getting a lot of good feedback on it. It's just, getting it through the committee. The next bill we're going to talk about after the question I have for you. Going up on the Hill a lot, I'm hearing some stuff about Senator Mitch McConnell out of Kentucky. And I find it interesting because he is sick. I believe he's still in the hospital. No one knows what's wrong with him, and Godspeed and prayers go out to him and his family. Hopefully, he'll have a really strong recovery. But how does that affect some of these bills in the Senate about getting passed? Because since he can't vote and come into the office, that's one less vote for the Republicans. So, do you think that plays a factor on some of these close decisions in the Senate? Is why maybe they're not bringing some of these bills up?
Well, I do believe because that the Senate has a very close margin. I believe that it was 53 to 47, and McConnell and Schumer were at first the kind of a joint speakership, and McConnell's health was failing, and Schumer was kind of bullying, and then Thune took over. Thune, although very good, very bright, but doesn't seem to be as strong as McConnell. So we need that extra vote, and that extra vote is not there. And he may be holding back on a lot of legislation that could be brought forward and could pass. But because he doesn't have McConnell there, and we don't have anybody to fill McConnell's spot, because in Kentucky it's an election and McConnell is going to be retiring, but he's not retired, and he's still considered holding a seat in the Senate. So that could be the reason why Thune is not pushing any of these votes. And as I say, he may not be as strong a leader as McConnell was in his prime and up until he started to become ill. The other thing that votes were being held for is McConnell and President Trump were not close. It was known that McConnell did not favor Trump, and he also held back on pushing votes. So that has been a problem throughout this last 2 years. McConnell did not like anything that Trump brought forward. He did not support him.
Yeah, and I think, talking about that's the issue I see even with other representatives and senators is because they don't like Trump or don't like somebody, we're just not going to bring it up because we don't like them. And I thought the reason why you went to Congress was to better America, doing the right thing. They elected you to do the right thing for America. But it seems like there's a lot of grudges up there, which, over the past 3.5 years I've been going up, I'm seeing that more and more. It's like they would rather not bring anything up to better the administration than make America great again. And I don't think it's just not Trump's administration. I think that goes to almost any administration. A lot of times, if they really don't like them, well, we don't want to give them a win, and that win would better America, but they dislike that person enough to let America, go down the toilet.
Well, you've got the most radical divide in Congress that you've ever had. I mean, the Democrats and Republicans are not friends. Maybe a couple of them, maybe personal friends, but in all the years now that I've been up there, there's a divide. There's no friendliness. They don't go out together. They don't really speak. The legislation that has passed has been pretty much just flat legislation, nothing controversial. They can't get together on anything. And I fear for the fact that what's going to happen in midterms, as many people do.
In reference to that, kind of friendship between sides, I've seen it change a lot. Now, I know you back in the day were up on the Hill quite a bit because you were working on HR 218, which you got passed, which allows all retired law enforcement to carry anywhere in the United States. But what the changes you're seeing, like back when you were doing up on the Hill, doing the lobbying and stuff, did you see like after everything was done that they still had a friendship? They still would go out and talk. It just doesn't, they would meet up, whether you're Democrat, Republican, have dinner, have a drink, whatever. It doesn't seem like they do that anymore. It's like separation completely.
Yeah,
party before country.
That's exactly. It's not happening anymore, and you can see it in the chambers. You can see it in State of the Union. It's just not happening. They do not favor Trump. They do not favor what's going on. They want to change America. But now, the interesting thing is that the Democratic Socialists or socialists and communists have gained grasp to the Democratic Party, and they want to change the real Democrats to socialists. They want to take over that party. I was listening this morning. They are in their heyday, and now we're going to see what happens to America if these people gain control in any way. This is a very scary time for America's 250th birthday.
And that brings us, Jim, to our last bill that I wanted to talk about today is HR 309, National Law Enforcement Officers Remembrance and Support Community Outreach Act. What that's doing is providing a grant, a 6-year grant to the National Law Enforcement Memorial to help do outreach, community outreach, bringing communities together, mental health and wellness for law enforcement. This is bipartisan. We right now have 130, or I think 135 co-sponsors on it. It's bipartisan, and we're just hoping that it will get through committee this year. I don't see why it shouldn't. We have great support. It's the committee is natural resources. From what I understand, they already have the funding for it, and we're really looking forward to getting that one passed. That will be the third one. If we get this one passed, this will be the third one this session that we got passed into law.
It's amazing that these bills get to committee, they sit in committee, and then they're not voted out of committee. And why why does that happen, Bert? I mean, you're up there, you speak to judiciary, you speak to these committees, and why are they stuck? Why are the Republicans holding back these law enforcement positive legislations?
I think some of it just has to do with, do they have enough votes in committee? You may have 135 co-sponsors, but you have to get it through the committee. So with the committees, you need the majority, and sometimes they think they don't have it, or it's procedural on when certain things get marked up. Right? I'm learning they only have X amount of days for markups. So right now they're running out of time for this session for markups, because we pretty much have July, but I mean, they're gone the first 2 weeks in July because of 4th of July. Then August is August break, and you got a little bit in September, and October they're out quite a bit because it's an election, before the election, and then you have the election. So I don't know. Hopefully this one will get passed. We're fighting strong on it. I don't know, but we'll keep fighting. We'll give everybody an update on that one.
Yeah,
I am taking, obviously, I'm up here in Minnesota, so I'm taking next week off. But we will do a follow up about this bill here, hopefully in the next couple weeks. Next week's podcast, we'll do some more bills and do some more research on Senator Mitch McConnell, kind of see where he's at. That'd be interesting follow up. So
yeah,
that
and I'll look further. I feel for Mitch McConnell's family, and may God help and bring him back healthy, and let him have a long and healthy retirement.
yes. So okay, everybody. I am Bert Eyler. This is PODC TV Hill Report, where we bring the Hill to you. Until next time, God bless.
God bless it. God bless America.